probably 3 weeks ago to do the show in Chicago, which is going to be tomorrow, at a place called The Lemon. And that's 7 months, that email sat, and then now they're responding to me. And that's just like the industry, that's what it takes, You have to be ready when that opportunity comes, and, that's it.
Right. So when did you start getting big into photography as well?
I would say that's where it started. I'm probably, for the people who know me, like in the city of Fort Wayne, I'm probably way more well known as a photographer in that sense, a photographer and videographer. So I've done a lot of like music videos for people around the city in Fort Wayne. I've, took photographs of a lot of people in the city of Fort Wayne, just traveling as well. I work in like 35 millimeter film formats and Polaroids, all that type of stuff, and that's just that's something that I will always do, and that's like just kind of like I know that I can make money from it, but I also want to like do it creatively, so I have to separate the two, and that's been a hard time for me right now, understanding how to do that.
And then do you still have a job while maintaining those two as well?
Yeah, for sure. I work at SweetWater part-time, and it's a great place, at least for my position. I'm a photographer and assistant there, and it's just a great place for me, and I have a great situation to where they allow me to basically work when I want, and if I have something happening, I can leave, and it's just a great situation. I'm really, again, grateful for that opportunity.
Can you speak about one of the latest films that you was working on?
I worked on a film out in Illinois. It was called Unseen, through a company called Lakefront Pictures. So a few of the actors that are part of it, the son from Breaking Bad was the main star in this, and then a couple of the main stars from like Chicago PD and like Law and Order are part of it as well. It's a thriller, but yeah, it's just something that another part of creation that I want to get into is the movie industry, or like that creative industry in a sense. And so yeah, that was another great opportunity. That was the biggest thing that I've been a part of this far, as far as like movies go. So like that was like a real milestone for me. And,
Hell yeah, that's awesome. How did you get into that?
So again, just like being ready, having like all of everything that I've done in the past, and then when the opportunity presents itself, how I got a part of that, it literally contacted me 12 hours before I was supposed to be there, and this is in Chicago, like, so I'm in Fort Wayne, like literally at 12 a.m., like, negotiating to come there. And if I wasn't ready, and if I didn't have everything set, and it just wouldn't happen. So again, it was an opportunity to present itself. Somebody wasn't able to be there, so I was able to step in and be a part of it. And again, like, that's just what it is,
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. What are your long-term goals?
Long-term goals. Give me like a few seconds to ponder that. So long term is to get to a place to where I don't have to work, and that everything that I'm doing is sustaining itself, and everything that I have to do to live. I'm going to point out that I don't like money. I don't think that it should exist. So like whatever I can do to subside that, and just to like remove that thought from my world, and not have to worry about that, that is my like ultimate goal. And at that point, that is really when I know as a person I can give myself to the world, and give my arts to the world, and put it out in the most clear and untying way, because everything that I'm doing, like, I have to make money. I have to make money to be able to go to New York. I have to make money to be able to go to Chicago, to this, to that. It's like a part of it, or I won't be able to do it. But I want to get to the point where it's just not something I have to worry about. So that's one thing. Another goal of mine is to, have a fashion line. which I'm like been working on for a long time, and establish myself as a fashion designer and have like a legitimate line now. Another goal is to shoot a feature film. That's been a big goal of mine, to shoot it, direct it, score it musically, the whole deal, and have it be a good thing for the world, and whatever it is, I'm not sure what it's going to be, but that's something that I want to do. And my ultimate goal is just to create a place, if that means the whole world, just to create a place to where people like me and you, and we can just do what we want to do creatively and not have to worry about everything that is tied to it. Just to create that space to breathe the arts so that the collective human consciousness can grow, so that we can all grow as humans. And this is like far beyond me. This is far beyond my time on Earth. Creating something that is going to move the Earth forward into wherever it needs to go. When we leave this planet, when we become interstellar beings, so on and so forth, I just want to be a part of that journey to bring us to a higher stage.
Thank you. I like listening, man. I was talking to you about, let's say, you've been going through a lot of hardships. Obviously, you talked on camera a little bit about that.
Yeah.
What do you have a faith that you've been holding on to? Are you religious or spiritual?
I was raised like Christian, like in a Christian household. Not even a Christian household, but just I was raised with a Christian like overlying religion, I guess. Theme, exactly. So that was the thing, like in my childhood. I was like in the church as a child. Like I was like almost like on my way to be like a pastor. I was doing like, I think I even like preached at one point in time, like as a child, like to like a youth ministry. My grandmother is super like Christian, super. I would say she's super spiritual. I know that she is Christian, but overall she is a very, very spiritual being. So that's where my spirituality comes from, and like the Christian like mindset comes from, is from her like going to church as a child. But again, my grandmother is just super spiritual, and like she's done like literally has done things that are unexplainable just with her prayer, or like just her like spirituality. I don't know, it's fucking weird. Like at one time I was a kid spending the summer in not Indianapolis but in Gary, and my grandmother, like my ear was for whatever reason like fucking swollen, like my whole side of my face was just like huge, and I just remember sitting on the couch, and literally my grandmother took some, what they call a prayer oil, holy oil, whatever it is. She rubbed it on my ear. She started praying, bro. In like 30 minutes it was gone. Like, promise you, 30 minutes completely gone. Like, I don't know, like, there's just like countless other things like that my grandmother has done. This is just like, yeah. But like growing into my own as like a person, I spent a lot of time with like Buddhism, Hinduism, Hermetics, the Kabbalion, a lot of like mystic knowledge, just delving into like monkship and like reading stories about monks,